there is no information at all about Alessa's real father. So we are left to speculate if she even had a father at all. Perhaps Dahlia's daughter came into this world through the same means by which she insists her daughter should give birth to a god. This would certainly explain how Alessa is able to split her soul, or perhaps it's more accurate to say, give birth to Cheryl without having been impregnated. It seems that Alessa's power is indeed otherworldly, and so it is plausible that she has no earthly father to speak of, and instead is an emanation from the realm of spirit or demonic forces from which Dahlia gave birth to herself. And of course, subsequently, she's being held in stasis by the black magic of Dahlia and the Order. And how else would Dahlia have gotten such an idea to birth God into this world if she first was able to magically conceive and give birth to Alessa? Given Alessa's power, perhaps Dahlia is convinced that if she trades up, then she really will see a god born into this world. And being God's granny, after all, would most certainly have its perks. One thing is for certain. The ceremony of birthing God into the manifest realm requires 3 key figures to be involved. The golden sun, unified with the silver moon, creating a doorway or passage from which a new life may enter through. 2 becoming one, creating a third. Harry symbolizing the father, Dahlia as the mother, and Alessa as the child. Of course, Alessa is the conduit for birthing God into this earthly realm, continuing the cycle of renewal. Now, Alessa may have been born into this world through an unholy union with demonic forces, but Dahlia cannot hope to usher in the birth of a god into corporeal form without the ritualistic threefold aspect of this world's most fundamental law, as represented by the triangle on the seal of Metatron. According to Eliphas Levi's Doctrine of Transcendental Magic, it reads, quote, "The primeval sages, when seeking the first causes, beheld good and evil in the world. They considered shadow and light. They compared winter with spring, age with youth, life with death, and their conclusion was this: the first cause is beneficent and severe. It gives and takes away life. Then there are 2 contrary principles, the one good and the other evil, exclaimed the disciples of Manus. No, the 2 principles of universal equilibrium are not contrary, although contrasted in appearance, for a singular wisdom opposes one to another. Good is on the right, evil on the left, but the supreme excellence is above both, applying evil to the victory of good and good to the amendment of evil." End quote. Of course, Alessa is working against Dahlia, creating 5 seals, so the darkness can consume Silent Hill in accordance with Dahlia's own evil. But it is Harry who acts to counterbalance this. After vanquishing the split-head monster, Alessa appears before Harry for a brief moment in the boiler room. She looks to be passing the time, waiting for someone, but is slightly taken by surprise when she is spotted by Harry. Alessa is seen at each of the sites where the seal of Metatron is created, although she may have also wanted Harry to get a sense of her torment in an attempt to communicate with him. After all, he did care for her in the form of Cheryl for many years. Having emerged from his ordeal at Midwich Elementary and back into the light of day, the sound of church bells rings. And Harry, in this moment, has graduated from the beginning stages of his journey, although he doesn't quite understand what is really going on yet, much less the fact that Alessa is working her own magic ceremony, which threatens to ruin her mother's plans. Harry makes his way to the Balkan church, where he meets Dahlia for the first time. In the opening cutscene, Dahlia seems rather uncomfortable in this place and appears to be chewing gum or unconsciously moving her jaw. She tells Harry that his arrival was foretold by gyromancy. Gyromancy is a form of divination achieved by spinning around until one is dizzy, entering an altered state of consciousness. It is these altered states where visions appear to the subject. Gyromancy can also involve stepping on certain parts of a magic circle in a state of imbalance, which is believed to foretell future events. Dahlia also tells Harry that she sees everything, which seems to be true on the physical plane where Harry resides. But it seems as if his experiences in the other world have emanated from Alessa. This is something that Dahlia may be aware of, but is unable to do anything about. The most occulted theme in Silent Hill seems to be the dysfunctional rivalry between mother and daughter, and the notion of childbirth as a divine gift of the gods, reserved for, of course, the feminine. And the feminine, of course, has traditionally held the lion's share of magical powers along certain bloodlines. Dahlia also tells Harry that there is nothing to be gained by floundering about at random, and that he must follow the path. The path Dahlia speaks of is the order in which Alessa is creating the seals of Metatron throughout the town. And we will look into this in more detail a little later on.